Hey, welcome wargamers, enthusiasts, fellow hobbyists and YouTubers. It's time for a chill with Pete. I think it's a bit overdue, and I've got no scripted thing or notes to kind of read off of. I just felt like sitting down and chilling out. As usual, I've got my cup of coffee. Once the coffee's gone, the episode is finished, and that's it. And just a couple of things I thought I'll mention whilst I do it, just as an update. I'm going to take my first sip now. Oh dear. I'll just sort this out here. Got the MacBook on one of those desk things, so it's kind of easier. As you may or may not have seen, I've painted up my first box set of Zombicide Season 1. I played a few games already and it's absolutely awesome. What an incredible game. We can have a regular zombie night every week now, my family and I. It's just brilliant. The strategy, there's more strategy behind it than I first thought. Yeah, you've really got to think about it. It's not just a case of mindless moving around and throwing dice. You've got to think about what to do and in what order to do it. And I was super impressed with that. And it's a great reward for all the hard work, for the painting I feel I've put into it. As you know, I've already got the Compendium 1 with loads of more missions in and how to make missions. I've even downloaded an app on my new phone, which I got. Yes, I got it. Yeah, it's an HTC Desire, whatever. Nothing fancy. It's actually it's an upgrade, but it's a downgrade. So whereas I was paying like £22 a month for my last Galaxy Samsung S3, I think it was, mobile contract thing, on that one I'm just paying 14, I think, something like that. No, 13 or 14, I can't remember now, but it's a saving anyway. It's quite a saving, so save where you can, and it's the same amount of minutes and mobile data usage, so can't complain at that. Newer phone, brilliant. So are you guys? How's it going? Weather-wise, rubbish. So nothing to do in the garden as yet, although once spring is around the corner, I think it's around the corner. Once I start cutting that grass, that will eat into my time of hobbying, and that's fine because the garden is looking a bit messy at the moment, and I am looking forward to cutting the grass, making it look tidy. I've got the corner of my garden to really tidy up. Because I want to put a bench at the top of the garden so we can sit there in the summer, have a cup of tea and just chew the fat, basically. Look out towards our house, back of our house, and yeah, just chill out. Yeah. Hey, maybe I'll do a chill with Pete out there sometime. I don't know. Depends on how noisy it is. I might do some test runs, but possibly. Who knows? Obviously, if I, in the future, I ever get the building built, call it man cave, but it'll be so much more than that. It'll be like a studio and a proper hobby area, brick and mortar building, toilet facilities and everything you need, really. Gaming table or two, storage facility, and yeah, so who knows the future. But I would be doing stuff in there if that ever happened. If anyone is watching from the Plymouth Association of Wargamers, I won't be there this coming Sunday because over the course of this weekend, on the Saturday, I'm going up to Honiton to see my mum for Mother's Day. We're going up the day before because I want to, we want to go and get fish and chips and that kind of stuff, and they don't open on the Sunday. And yeah, we just want to go and do that as a family. And on the Sunday, I'm going out with my my mother-in-law for a meal. So I'm kind of going to be taking up both days doing Mother's Day stuff. So, but following Sunday, I'll be back there. I'll be back with a vengeance. And yeah, if anybody's open for playing any games on that Sunday, I'm all ears. Nuts. So that's had a bit too much sugar in my coffee. I just feel a bit weird. Started reading this Horus Heresy. I thought, if you're into Warhammer, you cannot ignore the Horus Heresy, really. So, and I came across in a charity shop a load of books from the Horus Heresy, and a couple of other ones as well. There's loads of them, not the complete series, but a large chunk of them. So I started reading the first one, Horus Rising. I'm about, as you can see, about halfway through now. Started off a little bit messy, I felt, in terms of literary experience, but it's getting really good now, really good. So I'm glad I stuck with it. Yeah, like I said, it's a little messy to begin with. It was all over the shop. One of those stories where it's a job to remember. And there's even a list of characters at the start, and here it tells you 3 pages of who's who, and even then it's still confusing. But once you get the hang of it, it's really, really good. Yeah, it's one of those stories where there's loads of characters all over the shop, and you just don't know who's who, and they're talking, and the dialogue was a bit. It was, like I say, it was messy, for want of a better term. Here's me, degree in English. I can't even come up with a decent terminology for that piece of literature. But yeah, I am enjoying it though. It's a really good book, and although it's by different authors, the series, it's a really large series of books, isn't it? So yeah, but I want to read it all to say I can say then that I've read them. I've read the Horus Heresy, and I know who's who and what's what, and it'll give me a bit more depth to the lore of Warhammer 40k, I feel. Speaking of which, what's going on with the fantasy side? They've done the end times and that, and are they trying to cross over into 40k? Is there going to be an end times for 40k as well, and then move that story along? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. I really don't. But like I've said before in the past, rumours, you can't really pay any heed to them. You just got to wait until the facts arise from the ground, and you can see what's going on. And yeah, as you may have seen, I've assembled my Panther tank for the bolt action paint off. That was good. That was enjoyable. Did that yesterday. So I figured, well, I can't actually start painting until it's assembled, so better do that. I might hold off on the other tank, the Sherman. I might just stick with the Panther, because I don't want to be doing too much. I've still got the infantry, the American infantry to do, and I've got to do the next expansion for Zombicide. I've got to do that, and my Broodlord is that far from being finished, and my finishing touches, and yeah, I really want to get that one done. I'm so looking forward. I hope I can pull it off. I really do. If I can pull it off, I think it's going to look amazing. And then that'll be another project done. Then I'll be like getting my teeth into the bolt action tank, because I don't find vehicles easy, because I haven't done that many of them, to be truthful. I mean, even in 40k, I haven't done many vehicles. Really, I've done a few, but I haven't done many. But at least with that, it doesn't really matter what colour scheme you use, and if it's not, even if it's not quite how you want it to turn out, it doesn't matter, does it really, at the end of the day? Whereas this historical stuff, I think you need to pay a little bit more attention to detail just to get it right. I think the memory of the events itself, I think it's owed that. I think I owe it to the memory of what happened to try and do my best to get it as accurate as I can. I'm going to do my best, not to say I'll pull it off, but at least I'll have tried. That's the main thing, I think. Long as I try. At the very least, I'll have learnt some more stuff. Every model I paint, I learn stuff. Like even painting Zombicide, those figures that I learnt so much about painting them. I think I would say they're 25mm scale. They're not 28mm. It's a bit smaller. I would say they're 25, around about there. And they can be as, I suppose, at that scale, they can be as easy or as difficult as you want, really. To paint up. I mean, I just can't play games with unpainted miniatures. I can't do it. I just can't. I've seen people playing Warhammer completely unpainted miniatures with like horde armies, like Tyranids or Orcs. There's loads of grey on the table. It's awful. Like fantastic terrain and gaming table, and it just looks awful with these unpainted miniatures. That's not to say you shouldn't play games until you painted every single miniature to the best standard you can. No, I'm not saying that, but at least get some paint on. Just get something on them. Get some paint on them. Blob some paint. Even to just differentiate between who's who. Because from a distance you can't tell. But at a glance, anyway. But yeah. That reminds me, I think this summer I'm going to do my Tyranid showcase. And that's going to probably take me a day to set up and film. Because I want to properly explain why my colour schemes are the way they are on my Tyranids. So, yeah, and I want to get them all laid out so I can see them, even just sit back and see them, think, right, well, that's what I've got. I remember I might still be on one of my early videos somewhere, or not. No, I think it was a photo before I got onto YouTube. I took a photo of all my Tyranids, and it wasn't very many. I don't know, 400 or 500 points, not even that, of Tyranids. I set them up on my dining room table, and I looked at them and I thought, that ain't gonna kill much. That really isn't. I need more. But now, if I was to do it, there's so much more that I'd be able to put out there. So yeah, it'll be interesting, very interesting to see. I think it's good to see what your entire army is every once in a while, just so that it'll help. It can help you build a themed list as well. I think it's all very well looking at the figures in black and white, but to actually, if you're into the fun aspect of it, and then the lore and having fun, to actually look at your army when you've got them laid out in front of you, and then you can look at, oh yeah, I've got those, I forgot about those, oh what about those with those and those, and build your list that way. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of doing. Give it a shot anyway, to do a showcase army of your own, I think it'd be good. It's what I'm going to do. It's what I'm going to do in the summer. Anyway, enough about that. I wanted to do some more painting today, really, but I've been so tied up with other stuff. You just can't do everything at once, can you? Not unless you split yourself in two, and have two of you doing things. Then it'd be so much easier if there was two of you doing things. But I am but one man, and I cannot do everything. So. Kind of getting things ready for tonight's Zombicide action. Looking forward to that. Like I say, played a few games of that now. Super impressed with the gameplay. It's a great game. It really is. I mean, it's somewhere between a board game and a tabletop war game, I think. It's got the simplicity of a board game with the figures and visualistics of a tabletop war game. You've got all the tiles, and you've got all the miniatures. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It's not war as in army, but strategy. I like strategy, and I am hoping that as I improve in the game and games I play, that I will be able to formulate strategies and tactics, and my advice could be of some worth, because at the moment my advice would suck. Would suck big time. But I'm hoping that the day will come when I have the knowledge and know how to sit back and say, yep, this is the way you want to play it against these guys, or if you're fighting this army, you need this. Don't do that, do this instead, blah blah blah. And that'll be great. I still want to get there. Not quite finished yet. Nearly there though. So, yeah. So I didn't go to the my gaming club this Sunday just gone because well, my wife was ill and I had a few things going on. And this coming Sunday, I'm doing the whole Mother's Day bit. But the Sunday after, I want to be back at the club. And if anybody's out there that's watching, I'll probably post something on the forum nearer the time. But if anyone's out there that's watching and wants to give me a game of something, you know, I've got Ronin figures and a few bits and pieces. I haven't played Ronin yet. I really want to. Anybody wants to give me a game of Ronin, I'm there. I'm so there. The bolt action I played last time was fantastic. I love Second World War. I've painted up a few Germans, not really enough to field a decent game. But I was able to borrow John's last time. That was great. Like I said before, I so appreciate that. That was fantastic. I think if I was playing anything other than 40k, I'd have to borrow someone's army for the time being until I've amassed my own stuff, which I'm doing all the time. It's one of the reasons I chose Ronin, because you don't need many figures, because it's like a skirmish game really. And I've got the monks, but I've got some peasants now as well, which I need to paint up. So looking at the book, the peasants, I don't think they cost all that much, so you can bring more of them, can't you? So that'd be good. I've got one samurai. I don't really know about that, but I want to find out more about it anyway. But anyway, yeah, so if anybody wants to do that, just hit me up, either on here, YouTube, or email miniwarzone@gmail.com, or yeah, those of you that know my text, anyone on the forum at the Plymouth Association of Wargamers should have my text on there. You can text me, or you can message me through that. Or if not, if I can't get a game, I'll just turn up and wander around and socialise, chat and stuff. Maybe do a bit more filming, who knows. But yeah. Alright, 19 minutes already. Blimey, doesn't the time go? I must have been slow today drinking my coffee. There we go. All done. That signifies the end of the show. And so until next time, guys, see you on the next video. Stay healthy and happy gaming.